Welcome to Module 37, Defending Corners, 11v11. There are three general ways to defend corner kicks: zonal, man-to-man, and a combination of the two. This module will focus on the most common type, which is a combination of the two. We won't over-focus on the exact setup, since each team will approach it differently, but instead focus on general roles and helpful guidelines, listed here. As you can see, you will have a few players man-marking around the top of the box, or wherever the opposing runners line up. In most cases, you will have one player, here, lined up outside of the near post, taking care of anything under hit or played short. You will then have a player or two around the top of the 6-yard box, as corners are most often played into that area. In some cases, a team will send one of these players up here to eliminate the short corner. Then, we see a player on the near post, responsible to keep anything out of the net that comes near post. Teams may not use players on the near post, or they may use players on both posts, so ask your coach how your team is set up. There will then be a player or two at the top of the box, and one player out of the frame who stays high to provide options in the counterattack. Of course, if you are holding a lead, that player may be asked to help out defensively. Now let's watch some film and learn how to execute. This scenario will highlight 3 points of defending a corner: urgency, communication, and avoiding a central clearance. The blue team is defending, and they seem to be well set up. However, watch as this player at the top of the box is called back to pick up a runner, a result of the blue team not being proactive and quick to set up. And, as we can see, the player at the top of the box is left wide open. As we resume, we see the last point, which is avoiding a central clearance. While the blue team does a decent job of sprinting out to shut it down, the player does still have a good look on goal. Again, this is a result of 3 key things: a lack of urgency in setup, insufficient communication, and a poorly cleared ball. In the second example, we will see the importance of remaining goal side of your mark, and the importance of staying dialed in when the ball is overhit. The corner is being taken from this side. Keep your eye on this attacker for the blue team. As the ball is played in, we can see that it has been overhit, and the attacker for blue is able to get his head on it. Now, keep your eye on this player. As we mentioned, players should be goal side of their marks and be aware of overhit corners being sent back across the face of goal. The player is not goal side, and as we resume, we can see that by switching off for a fraction of a second, the attacker for blue is able to get a few yards of separation and has an open goal. Again, this is the result of not being goal side and a lack of awareness of an overhit ball being sent back across. In this last example, we will see a good display of players taking ownership of their role and being quick on the counterattack. As the blue team takes the corner, we see this player, who is zonally marking the top of the 6-yard box, taking ownership of his zone and going up to get the ball. Although the clearance was a bit more central than is preferred, watch how the white team recognizes that the counterattack could be on, and as we see, is aggressive in regaining possession, leading to what at this moment is a 2 versus 1 matchup. So, while each team might have specific ways of setting up, these strategies can be used to defend any corner kick. Move on to the lesson to work through some examples for yourself.